It's your boy Street Cred, 4K, back like I never left. Tory Lanez in critical condition. Is it a hit? Was he in there acting a fool? Did Meg Thee Stallion put a bag on his head? We're going to find out. And I mean, it's a lot of talk. It's a lot of things going on. First, let's do a quick recap on why he's in prison in the first place. But just a quick recap.
Says Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, shot Megan's feet during an argument in the Hollywood Hills July 12th. The 28-year-old was arrested the night of the shooting, but was released after posting bail. He now faces 2 felony charges and is set to be arraigned Tuesday in LA. If convicted, he faces up to 23 years in prison.
The verdict is in. Tory Lanez found guilty on all 3 counts in his assault trial, where he was accused of firing gunshots at Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm a victim. Like, I'm the victim. Like, I'm not defending myself against anything. Like, something happened to me.
You shot me. Stop lying.
Sentence rapper Tory Lanez to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, and it's been happening. But
he shoots Meg Thee Stallion in the foot, apparently. Listen, I never believed that, not one time. Soon as they said that he shot Meg Thee Stallion, I called cap. That's right, I called Captain Crunch. I'm calling Captain Crunch on all of it. It was some sort of a power move. Something had to happen, and I never believed it. Now, fast forward to now, he was stabbed 14 times in a Cali prison. That's right, right here in Cali, he was stabbed 14 times.
Hit rapper Tory Lanez is reportedly in a Bakersfield hospital tonight after he was stabbed multiple times while serving a sentence at Tehachapi Prison.
Did not suffer superficial wounds. He was stabbed 14 times, 5 times in his back, 1 under his left cheekbone. In fact, his jaw was open. He was stabbed twice in the back of his head, and the rest in his torso, arms, and in his chest. It may seem sensational, but thankfully, like Dr. King, it was close to his heart but did not penetrate. After that, he was being rushed to a facility nearby in a vehicle in which he said, and I quote, "Dad, I thought it was my last." And having made my peace with God, I said, okay, God, is this how it's supposed to end for me? But God said no. God told him, do not give up, in the car, upon which he turned to the attending officers and he said, you must get me to wherever is the closest place that I can get to. I'm bleeding out here. He didn't even know his lungs had collapsed. All he knows is that he couldn't breathe. He could hardly speak. Upon which the officer turned around and looked at him and said, nah, we got to take him. He has to be airlifted.
The bus on the boy Tory, they airlifted him and all that. So, that's going to respond. When we come off this shit, we're going to respond the right way to that.
They laid the yard down?
No, it happened in the building.
What was it over? Over some? What he had? Did he have a debt, a gambling debt, or something?
Nah, nothing like that. Shit, we don't even really know. We don't even know the whole situation,
So it was just like some foul play. So it's gonna be up.
Yeah, it's it for sure with some foul play. This morning.
Let's just add this up. There's YouTubers on the internet saying, he was basically disrespecting somebody. We'll get into this one YouTuber who's out there. I don't know who he was paid by to put this message out there, but I don't believe it one bit. I believe some people are just out here capping and saying whatever it is that is sounding right, or they're paid by somebody. They're paid by somebody to twist the narrative, put it out there, because they know the quickest way to all of us is through social media. It's through these apps. It's through YouTube. It's the pushing a narrative. And then people believe it. And then it spreads like wildfire. Let's think about it. How many people How many rappers got sentenced to prison and never even met a similar fate? Lil Wayne did prison time. He never got shanked. Pac did prison time. Never got shanked. DMX, prison time. Never got shanked. 50 Cent, time in a pinta. Never got shanked. The list goes on and on and on. I mean, it doesn't stop. We can keep going. This doesn't just happen. Rappers have to move a certain way because especially if they're super celebrities like Tory Lanez, they got to move a certain way behind them walls. Their life is already in jeopardy. So they'd rather spend more time making acquaintances, friends, than enemies because they know they're already in danger and they're trying to get the out of there. They're not trying to sit in there. Now, as you can hear, Tory Lanez was sentenced to 10 years. I believe that was a year ago. So if he does have time, he's got about 4-5 more years, apparently. Now, right when they began to bring this case back and say what might have really happened, his lawyer came out and started talking about this.
Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Giano Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Ms. Pete, did not shoot at Ms. Pete, or did not assault Ms. Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson.
And it's all possibly linked back to Meg Thee Stallion and Rat Nation. Apparently the bodyguard came out with some new information about Meg Thee Stallion's best friend and those 2 beefing that night, and that's what really happened, and apparently she's the one who shot her. Now her bodyguard came out and then brought forth this information recently. Then all of a sudden when that information came out, boom, he gets shanked 14 times. Within inches of his life, 2 collapsed lungs, hit in the back of his head, with the shank. I mean, they came for his life. He said Tory Lanez ain't moving like that in there. That's not how he moving.
Here in this Los Angeles County and witness the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it.
Rock Nation knew that Tory Lanez didn't shoot Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion knows that Tory Lanez didn't shoot her. There's a reason why only his DNA was taken that night. Fast forward to this information coming out and this appeal about to get started, and then he gets attacked, ambushed, and hit 14 times.
Whose real name is Santino Casio.
This is just not, it's not coincidence. This is too much to be coincidental. And so my belief around this, because I happen to know a little bit about the streets, and I happen to know a little bit about what happens behind the walls. And the way things work, I would assume on that level of power, is that if you want somebody moved out the way because they're about to uncover one lie that leads to a web of lies, you need to move that person out the way, even if they're a celebrity. So I believe truly that some powerful people was behind the hit of Tory Lanez because he's about to appeal this. But there's this thing. There's someone called God. And if God don't say it's your time to check out this, then it ain't your time. And it wasn't Tory Lanez's time. Prayers up for that man that he makes it out. Because where there's one hit, there's another hit that follows. There's a starter who's supposed to finish it. And if that starter don't finish it, then they bring in the finisher who finishes the starter and the target. We may be looking out for the man who did this guy right here, Sonny, that he may get moved out the way. And then they may circle back and try to hit Tory Lanez again to finish the job, because the job ain't finished. And right now, his case is not overturned. Those charges are not overturned. He's still got to do time. And I recall him saying that he refuses to PC up. He refused to go into protective custody in there. He's walking the main line. And that's how you do it as a real ninja. You do your time. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this was a hit that came straight down from some powerful people in the music industry, such as Rock Nation, who governs Meg Thee Stallion. I personally think this was a hit. I mean, we ain't got to be rocket scientists to see what's going on. The timing is just too close. Do me a favor, don't forget to like, share, comment. This your boy Street Cred 4K all day. Keep checking in, keep tapping in, and I'm going to keep bringing you the truth.